Yo, hi, we're live.
Let's go.
Let's go. Hey.
Let's go.
Hey. Hey.
Hey,
Hey.
everybody.
Hello, welcome.
Everybody. Maybe everybody and nobody at the same
Hey,
time.
that's great. How's China going for you? Welcome to China land.
Welcome to China land.
Welcome to the land of the Chinese. They have Chinese food. Authentic. Happy New Year. Yeah. So,
We still have the double chat going on here.
you know what?
YouTube's doing weird stuff on my end. I don't know if it's going on for anybody else.
What can we do? It's so
Whatever.
weird. Well, everything comes through. That makes no sense. The two chats are the exact same code. So bizarre.
I don't know. When was the last time you updated OBS? Hey, mi Anglios.
I don't know. It doesn't have an update for me, so it's been pretty recent, I guess.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird because mine is fine now. Like when I do it, fine.
I don't know. Wait. Let me double check.
Weird.
Is there... Let's see. Is there... Wait, how do you force update? Obviously, that would be a bad idea right now.
Yeah, don't do it in the middle of a stream.
Yeah. Yeah, all I've got is like, yeah, I think I'm up to date. Yeah, I'm up to date. Yep. Oh well. Hello, young Leos. Welcome. How you doing? Yo, how are you doing?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
Fantastic. I'm doing awesome. Doing great. Feeling really good today compared to all the other days this week. The debilitating allergy situation that we have going on over here has been hitting very hard the last couple of weeks. Most of the days we wake up feeling like we got hit by a truck. Everything's sore, so exhausted from the very moment we wake up and get out of bed till the very end of the day. It's like just like so exhausted you don't want to move. But
yeah,
today I'm feeling alive. I'm feeling good and healthy, way more than the other days. So
good.
yeah, very happy with that, about that. And oh man, and the brain fog's been so bad, unable to think of like anything. So yeah, I think it's been a while.
They call that brain fog marriage.
Brain fog marriage? What's that?
The brain fog you're talking about, they call that marriage.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways, I had marriage so bad that that I was literally like trying to type on my keyboard, and I was like, I would like write out a word like I don't know. I would say like the engine, and I would just like start typing. I'd be like telling my brain THE, and I would write like POM, and then I press space, and then I'd be like engine ENGXBRTY, and I'm like, I'd look at it and I would see what I was doing, and I'd look at it and I'd be like, why am I pressing those letters? I don't understand. I press backspace and then I'd fix the word. It was like completely, not like accidentally, like my finger was in the wrong spot and just following some kind of, it was hitting letters that were not even close and just like adding on to words for no reason, just extra letters that didn't belong. It was weird. And it was like that happened for like an hour, and I was like, wow, I can't think or concentrate on this. I can't even like write on my keyboard. It was so bad. That brain fog.
Why are you trying to write on your keyboard?
I mean, use my keyboard to write on the screen. Please go typing. Okay, typing.
Oh no, Caleb, you lost one of your bags.
Aw, dang. Hopefully it wasn't too expensive for you. That's not fun.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Hopefully it wasn't your bag with all your electronics in it, but it was just your bag with your clothes in it.
Hopefully.
Well, it depends. Maybe
Yes.
your clothes were more expensive than your electronics. That could be the case.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever it is, hopefully you can buy it where you're at.
Yeah. Or they find your
tastes-
bag.
Oh yeah, or that would be even better.
Because I'm guessing it might be due to the airline. That happens,
Yeah.
from time to time on flights where you lose one of your bags.
Yeah, that happened to me when I went to Australia the first. Totally lost my bag, and I was like, okay, all right, well, here's where I'll be staying.
Yeah.
Send it if you find it, and they did. They eventually found
Nice.
it. That was good. Yeah.
Hey, Kendra, how's it going?
Yeah, welcome. So anyways, I'm doing great today. How's cabinet building been going?
Oh, it's nuts, man. We've been at your house.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we're still at your house. In
Wow.
fact, I heard some stories about you yesterday.
Ooh, that sounds great.
Yeah, because we were there. Oh, I'm glad you're doing well, Kendra.
Good. Glad.
I'm doing great. Yeah, we were working at your house. We were installing trim and everything, right? And then your mom all of a sudden sends a text message to me and your brother.
Okay.
We were working, and it was just a whole bunch of pictures of a menu from Lucky's. You know, Lucky's Steakhouse.
Okay. Yes.
It's so good.
My mom does that. Yeah.
Yeah. And so then I'm like, what is this? Am I just supposed to be jealous that you're at Lucky's and I'm not? Like,
yeah, no, you're supposed to pick an item and she'll bring it for
right. You. Yes, that was, I figured that out.
Here's the thing.
Kyle called me. He was gone at the store.
Oh, okay.
He said, yeah, so my mom just sent that text. You're supposed to send what you want back to her. That's how that works. And I'm like, okay. So, yeah. So anyway, so she brought us food. That was great. And so we're sitting there talking, and like, I don't know how it came up, but I was like, I had to ask her. I was like, has Ryan ever been mad?
That's great. Great. What'd she say?
And she sat there and thought for a minute, and she was like, she was like, and then your brother, Kyle, was like, well, there was that time he beat me up.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking to say. I was like, I bet you she's going to say that time that it beat Kyle up.
And I was like, what? Ryan beat up somebody? I'm like, dang, that's funny.
Yeah. Kyle's the only person I ever got really mad at because because I had to live with him, and he would push one button over and over and over and over and over, knowing that it was going to get me angry.
Yes.
With his intent to get me angry. Yeah.
Yep. It's like, I'm going to see how far I can push this guy.
He used to literally hit me with the channel changer. It was awful. Yeah. And so one time he did it enough that it was my last straw, and I tackled him to the ground, and I yelled at him, and I didn't really punch him. I just pushed his body into the ground. That's about it. Yeah, and that was it.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Our kindness is too powerful. The video is not coming through.
Ooh.
It's funny because I have YouTube going on my screen here, and I'm watching it, and I keep glancing over, and it keeps freezing.
Oh, does it?
Lagging. So I don't know. I don't know if there's some kind of YouTube issue or something going on right now.
Yeah, I wonder if that might
definitely a possibility
on my end. Hopefully not.
Have you changed? Did you change your bit rate or anything?
No, I haven't changed it.
I did that. I did that once, and it messed up some stuff.
Yeah, it was a bad deal.
Yeah. Well, because it's deceiving. Because on YouTube, they're like, "Oh, your bit rate is really low." You blah 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 blah, and so then you raise your bit rate to what they recommend, and then it lags and goes crazy, and the stream doesn't work right.
Yeah.
And so then you bring it back, and then they're always barking at you like, "Oh, your bit rate's low." Blah 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 blah.
A video started for me, guys. Sorry, I'm sure. I don't know. You guys probably heard something. I didn't hear anything. It was muted for me, but I don't know if it came.
I didn't hear anything either.
I was trying to click to YouTube and make sure that it's
might
muted.
have come through on stream though.
But then it was like trying to play some other video or advertisement or something. I don't know. Anyways,
Gotcha.
I think it should be good.
Kendra, my siblings dropped a TV on my head by accident when I was like 9 or 10. They were jumping on the bed and bumped the dresser it was sitting on, and it fell on me. I was sitting in a beanbag chair. Oh my gosh. Wow. A TV fell on you.
Okay, Kendra, old TV
I hope it wasn't a big
or
one.
new TV? Like
Oh yeah,
old
that's a good-
generation
that's a
TV?
good question.
Or it's like a tube TV where like it's like,
Where they're,
like
really heavy.
huge. Like trying to pick it up is like it takes the entire arm length because they're so fat in the back. Or is it
Did
like
it have a
thin
wood
screen?
grain finish on it?
Mm-hmm.
Or was it partially made of wood?
Old TV? Oh, that's the
Old
worst.
TV. Old big TV. Oh no,
Mm.
that's like the worst.
Worst.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Though my mom did have a super, super, super old TV. And we're talking like the size of a dresser, the screen as big as a Game Boy. Like this big. You had to go
Yes.
up and you'd be like 5 inches from the screen to watch anything. You know?
Oh my god.
And it would be the whole TV was like the size of a normal, like, I don't know, like a shelf, like a standalone shelf unit or what do you call those? Wow, my brain. Like an entertainment center. What they call it? That's not the word. Anyways, what people usually like, it's made out of wood and it has some shelves and then it has like your spot for your TV and then some shelves up top above
Yeah,
that.
that's an entertainment center.
That is, oh, okay, cool. All right, yeah. It was the size of a whole entertainment center, but with one built-in tiny TV that
Oh my
took up-
gosh.
electronically took up like a decent amount of the whole structure. It was amazing. It was amazing. Oh, and it was black and white. And then it only had turning knobs. There were nothing, that was it. Just, I think it was like one turning knob to work the whole thing.
Wow.
That was all
We've
I had.
come a long way since
Yeah, we
then
certainly have.
with
Certainly.
technology.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kendra, you're lucky you didn't have a concussion. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm glad that you didn't.
That's
I was just
crazy.
imagining that falling on someone, and I was like, that would be it. That'd be pretty bad too.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's super old.
Well, I did learn. It was funny, because you talk about your mom. She told another story.
Oh, okay,
It's Ryan's story time.
great.
Because we were on this thing about like then Kyle was like, well, there's time he beat me up, and then your mom was like, she elaborated on this. She's like, yeah, I used to tell Ryan, would you hit him? He deserves it. Hit him hard.
Yeah, she would.
and Ryan would always just be like, no, I'm not gonna hit him. And it's just like, he deserves it. He earned it. You need to hit him. And you're like,
Yep.
no. And then she's like, do you want me to? I will.
She's like, I can hit a lot harder than you can. I was like, fine, I'll hit her. I'll hit him.
And so you'd like tap him on the shoulder or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah,
See,
Yeah.
this just shows Ryan is such a pure-hearted, kind-hearted person,
Yes.
through and through his whole being.
Wow.
Even
Hmm.
when you have an older sibling that's picking on you.
Hmm. Yeah.
You still responded with kindness. It was quite an inspiring story.
Very, very blessed, I think. I was never never a kind of person that had a lot of anger issues. Though I definitely had, I don't know, maybe I had anger issues, but I never had violence issues.
Mm-hmm.
Might have had some anger issues at some point where I thought everybody was stupid and nobody liked me and blah, 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 blah. But it was all a matter of perspective, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, not a very violent person. But I just tend to never get really mad about anything. I think my brain, just anything that comes in that's like, see, for most people, like, if something bad happens throughout the day, they'll like pile those and they'll stack those. And so all the bad things on top of, go on top of each other and they say, that's my day. And then they'll like get halfway through their day and they're like, today's a bad day. It's got all this crap going on. And for me, whenever something bad happens to me, like it's not recorded, it's just gone. And so I remember many times I'd get home at the end of the day of a long day of work. And my brother would be like, wow, that went, yeah, I mean, you didn't get very many inspections done. What happened? That must have been a pretty bad day. And I was like, I don't know, I can't remember really why. It was like probably traffic. I think there was traffic issues. And probably people like would stop me and like tell me like unnecessary information and like whatever. Probably happened a few times. I don't know. I'm just completely oblivious. I just chuck it all up when I'm like, that was a bad experience, whatever, I don't care. If I can't make use of it immediately, which there are times where you can't. There are many times where something bad will happen and there's no making use of it. So I just chuck it. I have no memory for it. People will be like, tell me all the bad things that happened throughout the day, and I will have nothing. While other people can like recite their entire day about every possible bad thing that happened. I can't remember anything. Yeah. And so I find that a blessing because I just chuck the unusables immediately. And I don't hold on to them. I'm very blessed.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
I know
the beanbag chairs saved your head.
Oh wow!
Yes.
Yeah, because
if you would have gotten if it would have fallen on your head and your head was on like a hardwood floor or something, then it probably would have done more damage.
I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah.
That is not great. All right. Well, we have some people with us, so we could do a Don't Worry Wednesday topic. You say
we could.
All right. Well,
I say yes.
I'll start the show then. Welcome to Don't Worry Wednesday.
Start it.
This is the show where we talk about the problems and the struggles in your guys' life or whatever's on your mind. We take in topics. You can go to don'tworrywednesday.com to submit a topic, any kind of topic you like, though preferably those which are things you're worried about. We are not professional psychologists or psychiatrists or anything along those lines, but we will do our best to walk alongside you and give you some perspective and encouragement for the road and journey ahead.
And
that's it. That's
well said.
Thanks. I almost said breast instead of best.
I did. I know.
I saw you laugh about that. I was just like, yeah, I'll just say it.
Yeah. What's going on, Savage?
Hey, welcome.
DWW's great. How are you?
Great. Yeah. So I'm gonna go here and look. Do we have any? Okay. Well, we've got one that's anonymous. Well, actually, first I'll ask: is Moonlit here? I doubt it. I didn't see them, but there you go. We've got this one that's anonymous. I think that will do.
Yes, got the musical part you wanted.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the auditions went swimmingly for you.
Congratulations.
Good
stuff.
Good job. I'm proud of you. I'm seeing Jack Black.
Hey,
do I look like Jack Black?
Jack Black.
Because I got the big beard now?
Yeah. Wow.
Steve the other day, Steve called me Yukon Cornelius.
Oh, man. I love that guy. Honestly, if I was to be called either Jack Black or Yukon Cornelius, I would pick Yukon Cornelius.
Silver and gold.
I love the part where he takes his axe into the mountain and he pulls it out and he licks it and he's like,
yes,
just gold.
Nothing.
Oh yeah, nothing. Yeah, but most time he goes, nothing. But one time he's like, it's just gold. I'm looking for silver. Or something like that.
Yes. Jack Black is a good-looking guy. I guess if I can live up to Jack Black's good looks, then I guess I'm doing all right.
Yeah, There you go.
Mm-hmm. You're a good-looking guy.
Thanks.
I was talking to Savage.
Oh, well, yeah. Obviously, that doesn't even need to be said. Of course. Savage knows
And you're
that.
a good-looking guy too, Ryan.
Thanks.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that good-looking.
I did it.
Good-looking looker.
There's the Jack Black from the Minecraft movie.
Oh yeah.
Is he a good-looking Jack Black?
Hey everyone, welcome back.
Oh, darn it, happened again. Hey everyone, welcome back. That's great. Great. Okay. Do not touch my not touching my, what do you call that? Internet
when
browser.
Was the last time you
again?
Did you just restart your computer recently?
Probably.
That's a no.
I mean, I probably did, at least within the last day. I did. That's pretty recent.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think I restarted a day ago. Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Not too long. All right. Well, let's do this topic. This one is called "Finding My Voice." It's from Anonymous, and they said we could do it whenever we want, so that's what we'll do.
Yes.
What we will do. Oh, Hulk Hogan in younger years. Dang. Hulk Hogan is great.
Never do a Slim Jim. Oh wait, no, that's Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh yeah, Macho Man. Yeah, it's easy to get the two confused.
Hulk Hogan. Forget what his tagline was. I don't know if he said much. He just would rip his shirt.
Yeah,
he
was pretty cool. I don't know much about him. Yeah.
And then he had a Fu Manchu. He had the blonde Fu Manchu that went really long and
Yeah, impressive actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Man, that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll shave here and just have the Fu Manchu mustache down to my chin.
Yeah.
And then I'll make it really long and I'll tie them together, twist them up.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could be fun.
If it gets long enough, you can kind of do like something really cool and just like get it over the top of your head, and then you can look like you have a full head of hair.
Yes, or like hook them up around my ears so it looks like it's a hook-on beard.
Yeah. That is hilarious. Wow. Dang.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
TMNT 2012 is a diamond in the rough. Is that the cartoon? Like, is that the one you watch as a kid? Must be the one.
Just by the way, yeah, thank you. Fantastic. All right, I'm gonna jump into this topic. So
yes, let's do a topic.
The topic is now on screen for you guys if you want to read. It reads as follows. Again, it's called "Finding My Voice" from Anonymous. It says, "How do I find my voice? I've always struggled to find my voice. When I feel unheard. When I feel unheard. I tend to speak loudly and urgently, which can be very overwhelming for others. Throughout my life, I've had to fight for attention and acceptance. It's incredibly frustrating when my voice is silenced, especially when I'm going through difficult situations. When I'm finally given the chance to speak, I often rush to express myself, leading to loud and disorganized speech. This behavior can oftentimes alienate myself, leaving me feeling misunderstood and unwanted. I know I'm not alone in this struggle, but it's hard to break this pattern. I'm struggling to find ways to express myself calmly and assertively without feeling overwhelmed or unheard." From Anonymous. And Anonymous, just right off the bat, I want to say that was really well written. I really like that you've clearly thought this out and you have this formed opinion about yourself and your experiences. I think that's great. It shows that you pay attention to yourself. And I think you did a good job of putting yourself here in this situation. Obviously, you're typing instead of speaking, but I think you've done well. Oh, yeah, have a good one. Thanks for being with us. Nice to see you. I think that this is a struggle that, yeah, you said it's a struggle a lot of people have had, and I think that's true. I remember definitely being in a position like this when I was younger, and yeah, it's a really, really awful. Feels awful. So I'm sure that Joe's probably experienced something along these lines too. Learning to speak is difficult, but eventually it becomes easy. And by learning to speak, I mean specifically learning to communicate on a higher or better level, more, like you said, more calm and assertive. Yeah, it's something that you can train for sure. It is something that you can improve on with practice and exercise, but it's not easy, of course. But I think there are some perceptions and things that might not even have to do with speech that can help you find your position in this and make a lot of headway without even necessarily having to change speech patterns all that much or, all that kind of stuff. So anyways, I think there's a decent amount that we could talk about here on. And again, I just think that you did a great job of writing this, and I'm excited to see what Joe has to say. So take it away, Joe.
Okay, thank you, Ryan, and thank you, Anonymous, for this topic.
Yeah.
So I can see there's probably a big reason. You have it sounds like you have your reason why this is the case in your topic here, and you said throughout your life you've had to fight for attention and acceptance, and so what that can do is lead to a feeling of overly self-consciousness, right? When we're overly self-conscious, we tend to be thinking about what we're saying, how we're saying it, and all that kind of stuff. And what happens as a result is we end up being, we have more disorganized speech. Where do you have? You tend to speak loudly and urgently, and so you maybe have loud and disorganized speech. And so when you're thinking about how you're speaking, when you're thinking about the words coming out and you're thinking about how are they perceiving me, how am I being seen in this situation, when all those things are going through your head, they kind of block what we're trying to say. So they block us from communicating. And one of the things I learned from Les Giblin's book, the How to Have Confidence and Power in Dealing with People book, he said, things just go so much better when we just take the brakes off and let our tongues wag. Meaning we just say it. We just say what we need to say. We don't think about how people are looking at us or how we're perceived or, if I'm being accepted or not or whatever, right? Because we just are saying it. And so some of this is going to have to do with, if you felt you had to fight for attention and acceptance, then there are a couple things that you can do. And now these have nothing to do with how you're speaking, but they have to do with how you think. Okay? And some of these lessons are weird, some of them are kind of hard, but it's part of growing up, and it's part of becoming who we are, and it's part of becoming how we fit into the world. We don't really necessarily have to think about that too much. But the question I would have is, okay, if you feel like you've had to fight for acceptance and attention, there comes a point as we grow when you care about neither one of those. Or you maybe don't care. You still care to some degree, but you care less and less about whether or not people are accepting you or people are paying attention to you, and it's just like, whatever. You know what? Here I am. I'm going to say what I need to say. People are going to take it or leave it, whatever. They're going to have their opinion of me regardless of what I have. And one of the best pieces of advice I ever heard was, you know, what, oh, what did it say?
I think I know the one.
I used to get caught up in how people were thinking about me. And then I learned, okay, how other people think about me is none of my business. It's none of my business. It doesn't matter. And if we get caught up in being concerned about how everybody else thinks about us, then we're nervous. We shrink into our shell. We get really self-conscious. The things, even if we say stuff exactly right, it doesn't get communicated right. We might use the right words, the exact words we needed to in this situation. Maybe the exact same words another person would use in that situation, but we're not taken seriously or we're brushed over. It just doesn't get communicated the same. And that all has to do with the tone of your voice, your body language, all that kind of stuff. And that comes from how you feel inside. So even when we're afraid, we can have courage. In fact, I've heard you can't have courage unless you have fear. Fear is a prerequisite to courage. And so when you see people walking around looking all confident, and I'd see this all the time, people looking all confident and, like self-important and all this kind of stuff, and they feel like they're and I'm like, what the heck, what's different about them that, isn't, than me? And what I came to find out was that they're all feeling fear too. They've just practiced being courageous in the midst of that fear. And so if you can learn to have a little bit more self-confidence, self-esteem, that type of thing, that's going to help you greatly in your communication of whatever words. And you could say the words all wrong, but your assertiveness, your confidence, and all of that will come through even if you say it wrong. It's okay, because like the words we say are just a fraction of the communication. The look in your eye has a lot to do with it. The tone of your voice has a lot to do with it. The way you're standing has a lot to do with it. All of those things. And they all kind of come together when we just are in the moment without being worried about ourselves, without being, thinking too much about ourselves. I could drive myself crazy everywhere I go if I thought about myself and how I was dressed and how I looked and how people looked at me and all that kind of stuff. Like I could totally drive myself insane and not get anywhere. And my communication would be absolutely abysmal. Hey, welcome guys. We got the whitest rabbit and Cats. Cats is alive at least a little bit. You're a little bit alive, or you're alive for at least a little bit.
Wow, both.
Meaning you're not going to be alive soon.
Maybe it's both.
Which I hope that's no unaliving.
Oh yeah, definitely not allowed.
Not allowed. Oh, you're holding down your Project Sakai rank in the top 200. Oh my gosh. That doesn't surprise me though. You're really good at that. I've seen you play. I've played with you. And it's hilarious.
What's Sakai?
Because it's a rhythm game, like on your phone.
Oh, okay.
Hatsune Miku Colorful Stage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's fun. And I'm always on like the basic beginner maps, and Cats is on like the expert, double, triple star, whatever, and like MVPing all of them, and it's crazy. I'm
Makes sense.
How do you do that with your fingers? Nuts. Anyway, so Anonymous, I think so. You've got these things, and you're thinking about your voice, and you're thinking about how can I make my voice do these better things. Well, it's a deeper thing, and I think the more that you learn to build yourself up and just be secure in yourself wherever you go, because it doesn't matter. People are going to think about you whatever they think about you, and you have no control over that.
Yeah.
And it's really none of your business anyway. I probably walk around and people think I'm an idiot most of the time, and that's okay. I don't care. They can think whatever they want. You know, if they tell me I'm an idiot, then I might look at them funny. You know,
That's
or
allowed.
or be like, what? Why? What's wrong with you? You know,
What's wrong with you? You're an idiot.
But but so most of the time, see, here's the thing though. Here's the other thing you learn about people as you go and you do these things and you learn and you grow and all this kind of stuff. It's like you learn that most people aren't thinking about you anyway. They're not looking down at you and judging you. They're worried about themselves. They're all wrapped up in themselves. So most of the people aren't thinking about you. And so the things you're afraid of the people that are perceiving you a certain way, they're totally probably not. It's not what's happening in the real world. It's only happening in your head. So it's okay. And then when you start to come to grips with some of these facts and some of these truths, you can relax and then just say whatever you need to say. And it comes across in a good way. It comes across communicated well. Even if you trip over your words, you still get your point across, because that's the point of this. The point of language is not to be eloquent, is not to be like have the biggest vocabulary. It's not to, be able to do, unless you're a lawyer, then you got to like learn legalese and all that kind of stuff maybe. But seriously, the point of talking is communicating, is getting a point across. And so you can say the wrong words, but still communicate the point properly. So it's okay. So don't worry. Just relax. Take a couple deep breaths. You're going to be fine. And learn to just exist. That's maybe one of the best things you can do is try starting your day with, even just 1 minute of emptying your mind, focus on your breathing and think about nothing. And you just exist for 1 minute. You can do it for longer if you want. You can do it for 5, 10 minutes, whatever. But I'd highly recommend it, because when you take time without things to do or things to think about or things to entertain you or things to, get in your way, you can just exist. Then it's crazy. Like, the whole rest of the day, you can just be a little bit more relaxed because you've had that foundation of just simply existing. And then everywhere you go, like if you can think about that, just dial it back a little bit. Just exist. Just be. That's all you need to do. And then in the midst of all your tasks, you'll be more relaxed. You'll be more focused. Things will go a lot more smoothly. At least that's what I found in my experience. So I don't know. That's what I got to say. I'm going to give it back over to Ryan because I want to hear what Ryan has to say.
Sure.
Ryan, the overly aggressive and violent Ryan.
Wow. Thank you. I've been practicing. No.
Yes.
Honestly, no, I think that was really good, Joe. I mean, I don't know how much I could add on to that. I think that really hits the nail on the head. When you're really focused on yourself, everything comes off wrong a lot of the time. it makes it
does.
very difficult. And that was my problem a lot as a child, growing up. And when I say child, I mean even into my like adulthood, really, to be honest. Um, and so, and even now, every once in a while, right, I'll get in my own head and I'll start thinking too much about me to be able to be calm and collected with my responses or with what I want to communicate. So it's important to err on the side of being that foundation stone that other people can rely on and come to for like what they know they're always going to expect someone that's calm. That sort of thing. Because if you can pretend to be that, even if you aren't that and you're like, that's not who I am, that's just not me. I've never been that. It's like, if you can pretend to be that, you will start to become that. That's how we become anything or better or different, when we just start acting that out. We act it out in real life. And some people call that pretending, but really you are facilitating something in yourself that is that, and you're establishing it. No reason you can't be a calm, cool, collected kind of person where you can stride through anything and just be calm. Now, I'm not saying that's the optimal thing to be, and that's important to know. Being calm, cool, and collected about everything possible might not be the optimal or best thing you could be. That's there are positives to being urgent. There are positives to making sure you're heard. There are positives to that aspect. So I'm not saying that what you're doing is wrong and you shouldn't be doing that. More so, I'm just saying, if it comes to expressing yourself, spending some time practicing being the kind of person that's super calm and collected is what's going to get you there, if that makes sense. So how do I explain this better? So I would say like this. By the way, hi Cream. That's a great name. What I would suggest is this: try acting to some degree. And by acting, I don't mean acting in the sense that you have a script and you're reading it or you know what's coming, but more so improvisational acting, where you say to yourself, okay, I'm going to respond to everything that I hear in the next like 10 minutes. Everything, I'm going to respond in this way. If anyone says anything to me, I'm going to respond this way. Or I'm going to actively seek out conversation, but do it in this way. And you set your standards, you set your boundaries, right? You set how you're going to be, how you're going to act. So you could say, I'm going to pretend to be like a super, super self-confident, stuck-up person that's like, looks down on other people, okay? Now don't do this, but this is an example. It's something you could probably think about, right? So you can imagine someone who thinks they're all posh and thinks they're better than everybody and talks down to everybody, and they're just like, whatever. I'm sure you can imagine that, right, in your head. You know that you're capable of just encountering a conversation and just being like, huh, that's what you think? You're an idiot. Just to anything they say, right? Like, you could be that person, right? But the problem is, if you do that enough, that becomes a part of who you are, because that becomes how you react to people. That's how you interact with people, because you've practiced it. You have ingrained that into your subconscious mind so that you act that way, right? So instead of doing that in a negative way, now let's take it to a positive and say, think about the kind of person that you're trying to emulate, the kind of sentence structures you're trying to utilize, the calm tones that you're trying to incorporate, right? Think about those things. Pretend to be someone who is like that. Pretend to like act out that sort of imitative or illusionary, whatever. Act that out so that you can train what it sounds like coming from you to be that. That's the only way you can really facilitate a new way of talking, a new way of behaving around people, right? Is to act it out. And so, there's this guy on YouTube. I would recommend looking him up. He's a voice trainer, and what he does is he specializes in how to speak effectively to other people, whether it be in a public or personal setting. And he helps guide people. I remember I watched a video recently of him. He was talking to a wide audience, and one of them asked, I always have this problem where everyone thinks I'm shouting at them. And he listened to the person, and he said, I understand how they feel. Because of the way that you spoke right now, it sounded like you were trying to shout at me, right? You were trying to be heard in such a way that you were being instructive and so on. And so he walked this person through how to change their inflection of their voice, right? And it's a very simple change to their voice inflection. What he said, instead of speaking the way you speak, which is very straight, monotone, I recommend loosening up. And what do? You sing with, or speak with a melody. Speak with a melody. So let your voice go up high and come down low. Like go up high and down low with your speaking. It's melodic speaking. Why? Melodic speaking comes across to people as kind and interested, interactive, not too assertive, not like I'm telling you what to do, but more so like, hey, how are you doing today? Oh, really? See, there's a lot of voice shift in that. I'm using my voice to show there's a lot of voice shift when you're communicating in a friendly manner, right? When you're communicating in a friendly manner, you often, a lot of times, use a lot of voice shifting, a lot of melodic speaking. And so he's just telling this person that. I recommend looking him up on, I don't know his name, I don't know what to tell you what to search for, but other than maybe a vocal instructor or a speaking instructor or something like that, vocal teacher, something, or speaking. Speech, I don't know. Anyways, I would recommend looking up some. He's this Asian fellow. I don't know his name though, and he's very good. And I think he's from Australia, but I don't know. Anyways, yeah, I recommend looking some of that up and learning from them how to slow down and speak in correct tones so that you can hear yourself speaking and calm yourself down. Okay? So, because that's essentially what, at this point, might be the most useful thing to you be. Might be the most useful thing for you is to hear yourself. Because if you can hear yourself speaking calmly, hear yourself speaking with kindness and a tone of joy rather than urgency, if you can hear yourself not being frantic, it's going to calm you down to hear yourself that way. If you hear yourself sounding frantic, right? Because that's kind of how I take what you're saying is you believe that you sound frantic when you speak, right? And if you hear yourself sounding frantic, it's only going to compile. It's only going to add to the intensity. Plus, then you have your self-judgment on top of it where you go, oh, now everyone thinks I'm frantic. Now it's like, now you feel like you have to prove something to prove. And now, all of this kind of just like, it just compiles and it's a total chaos. So if you can hear yourself speaking slow, and I don't mean slow as in slow down your speech, but more so lower the urgency level, right? Lower the frantic. Just speak with melody, speak softly. I think that's probably a better word. If you can hear yourself do that, you're going to calm yourself. You're going to calm yourself down. I know it sounds weird, but I've had so many experiences in my life where there's an urgency, there's a franticness, there's a level of intensity in the scenario, and someone talks to me and I start to respond, and I hear the way that I'm responding and I respond to it. I hear the way I'm responding to someone, and sometimes I'm like, oh wow, that came off sounding rather calm. And then I'm like, I kind of already feel calmer just hearing myself speak calmly in this urgent situation. Or right, if someone else speaks calmly in an urgent situation, it's frantic, it's intense, right? And someone else comes and they're like, hey, I know it's like kind of feels really urgent, but I think we just need to take this one step at a time. So let's figure out what we need to do next. Like having that voice of reason come off in this calm, somewhat assertive tone, but mostly just calm and inviting. And an invitation is always better than assertion, right? An invitation to something is always better than assertion. So, and that's like something you can employ in your daily speech. Always aim to invite people, not to control people. Because if you attempt to control people, you will hear yourself, and then you'll feel like you're losing control of the people around you because you can't control them. And you're going to have this mess. But if you hear yourself and other people hear you inviting them into something, to change or to listen to you or to do something, right? If they hear that invitation, if it's a call of invitation, that requires specific invitation words, invitation tones, right? But if you invite someone to something, a lot of times you resign the need for control. So you completely stave off the problems that are associated with needing control, needing to be heard, needing to have everyone's attention on you. You completely eliminate that from the equation. People will still be paying attention to you, but it will no longer be in your mind as a problem. So you invite people. And when you invite people to things, even if it's like invite people to understand your idea, right? Invite people to understand what you have to share or to be open to what you have to share. And invite in a way that you're willing to be shut down. So you can say, like, you ever have something on your mind, right? An example is to say, like, to start a sentence with an invitation would be like, you guys don't have to change your mind about this, but this is something I'm thinking about. What do you think about it? What that does is it communicates what you have to say in a frame, in a box, that's like a present, rather than chucking it at them like it's a bullet, right? You put in a nicely packaged, kind, like, offering to them, and you invite them into something, and you say, hey, I have a thought. What do you think about this? Or, hey, would you mind if we talked about this? Would you mind? And you invite them. Do you have a problem if we try to navigate this a little differently? You can say things like that. And always imply that you're open to always imply that you're open to having your idea be thrown out the window. 2 reasons. 1, mentally it lets you off the hook and you can relax because you don't have to feel like, oh, I lost control. They didn't do what I said. No, you already agreed that you don't have to do what you said. And heard you say it out loud. When you say it out loud, it changes things in here. Trust me. So when you hear yourself say out loud, like, it's okay, we don't have to do it this way, concede to that inside. Just say, we really don't have to, And then next step, so you say, like, we don't have to do it this way. And it helps 2 things. 1, like I said, it helps your own weight in the message so that you can give it and you can hear it and you can concede the power of your statement to allow other people to use it effectively. The second thing it does is it gives them, it's really brilliant. But when they receive this present of you saying, my idea doesn't have to be the one we pick, or you don't have to pay attention to the thing that I'm saying, this is just how I feel, or, whatever it is that you're saying, like, give an invitation with them not having to accept it. Like, hey, this is just the way I feel about this, and it's probably, my perspective is probably wrong about this, right? You can say things like that, right? What it does is it opens them up to being willing to concede themselves. Because when you say those words out loud and you have to interpret your own words and say, I am conceding that they don't have to accept what I'm saying. and that's okay. When they hear that message, they're brought up to your level. They're not always brought up to your level, but many people are just kind of like brought up to that next level of like, I want to be the kind of person that can concede my ideas and what I want. It changes them inside to be more open to what you have to say. It's really funny because if you're really assertive and you're like, this is the way we're going to do it, blah, 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 there's no other way. Your brain, you think, oh, that's how I get my point across. That's how I get everybody to be on my page, is I tell them to be on my page. But we're humans and we have freedom of choice and free will. Love that about ourselves. So instead, if you offer it as a potential, people are far more willing to get on your page with you, far more willing to go, you know what, maybe my idea isn't the best idea. And they'll drop their own idea for your idea. They're far more willing to do that if you already come up with the idea that you're willing to do that for them. So if you like have thoughts that you want to get out there and you feel urgent, like, oh, we have to do this right now, blah, 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 whatever it is, just making an invitation. Let them know that they don't have to do it that way. Let yourself know that they don't have to do it your way. Or even just like, I'm using your way as like you're trying to tell them to do something. But this goes across the board. This is everything, right? This is, like I said, just, hey, this is what I'm feeling right now. Is my thought process about this like terribly misguided? Please help me. Because this is the way I feel about it and it's not happy, you know? Maybe that's all you want to say, right? But giving that invitation for them to talk about it and tell you what they think about your feeling, the invitation is huge. So I would use the invitation mechanic on pretty much like nearly everything you say. Because if you do, it will open them up to also want to hear you out. Because now they have chips in the game. If you ask someone's opinion about something, right? If you ask someone's opinion about something, most people are like excited that you care about their opinion. Most people are excited that you care about their opinion. So what's going to happen? Their ears are going to go, boom. I'm all ears. What did you just say to me? You want my opinion on something? You have my full attention. You know? That's how people respond. So asking people's opinions, asking them specifically for them to change your mind about something and being open towards it. Whatever. Those things, people's ears peak up. You can talk calmly about it, and the way that they're going to respond to you is going to be calm and orderly because they are excited to engage in you on this topic. It's not going to be like a fight where you're frantic and now they're frantic and you're both just, like shouting things at each other because you're both trying to, be heard. And it feels like neither of you are heard. Instead, just say, hey, I'm listening to you before you even say anything and be like, before you even say your sentence, be like, I really just care what you have to say about this. Talk to me about this. Then you invite them. They're not going to feel like you're frantic or yelling at them or loud or whatever, failing to communicate. They're not going to shut you down because here's the problem. A lot of people just shut you down if you're shouting, and that's what you're experiencing, right? If you're shouting, if you're yelling at them, they just, okay, that's not something that I want to be a part of. They're not asking me any questions about that. I have nothing to offer to this. I'm just shutting down, and I can't, like, just zoning all of their thought, all of their message are just going in one ear, out the other, right? Like, just gone. They disconnect. People just disconnect. And that's why you're having difficulties in your conversation, because people have disconnected, and so they can't hear what you had to say anyways. It's like you try to communicate something and you're like, why? I said all the right words. Why did I not communicate correctly? Like, why don't they seem to understand what I said? And it's like, well, it was in one ear, out the other, so they missed a lot of it. Or the parts that they got, they didn't understand the way you meant it, because it was a closed-ended conversation they weren't really a part of. And so I would say practice the invitation technique best you can. Just practice it in every conversation. And the way you do that is first by going up to someone and starting a conversation, and then or responding whenever, like, pre-program responses. It's okay to do for a moment while you try to practice. Again, imagining yourself being a character, right? It really helps. Imagine yourself acting out a character where you're like, okay, this character is the kind of person that it's like, no matter what someone says to me, they always respond this way, or they find a way to always include this specific word in every conversation. They always use it, whatever. You can play little games like that, and that will help facilitate and formulate in your head the behavior of how to interact and speak with people in a calm way that facilitates understanding and communication, rather than, you know, throwing words at them and them not hearing any of it, right? So that's my best advice. Yeah. Invite people in. That's the best thing. I think that's the best opening I have for you anyways. I think, and by opening I mean like thing that you can do immediately and you'll learn more along the way. Right? Just start with that method. And you might think that you already are practicing that method, and maybe you are. That's awesome. Keep doing it. Do it more, if right. Maybe you're already doing that, but just not always in the right situation. And so, especially when you're feeling frantic, invite people in. Listen to yourself, talk in a calm way and an invitational way, and let that affect you. And then be overcome with that, and then that will just, it's like you'll have momentum, and it will be like, I have calm momentum that will keep me calm, rather than frantic momentum that will keep me frantic, right? So yeah, just start your first sentences off with something kind and calm and collected and invitational, and that will get that boulder rolling, and it'll be easier to stay that way throughout any conversation.
The stream just ended.
Oh. That's weird. Let me warning. Stream's current bitrate is lower than the recommended bitrate.
Yeah, that's the one that's what's your
Mine's
current
at,
bit rate?
I don't know why it says this, because I certainly didn't set it up for this. Super bizarre. 1237.06 kilobytes per second. It's like a random numbers out of 6,800.
I think mine's at like 3,100 or something like that.
Yeah. Mine's really low. The stream's current bitrate. Oh, okay. That's what its bitrate is, because of maybe the internet. I don't know. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to end the stream and I'm going to start it back up.